Well, some people would say that I go overboard on my projects, whether it's building miniatures or armies or terrain, and I would say they're probably right. It's a bit of a problem, but what the heck, I enjoy myself, and it's not hurting anybody. But anyway, in this part two series, I'll show you all the different things that I've been doing that didn't fit in part one, and here's part two. Hope you enjoy it. Yeah, hello. Anyway, hey, this is the second part of the terrain video, but I had a lot of these like stone wall clusters, but I never knew really what to do with them. So I made them into like little scatter, that you could put around a city, a town. I made flower gardens with little pathways. I made some real gardens with vegetables and even a little well. I did like a strawberry patch, orchards. This one here has a fountain. I think that one's really quite nice. I like this one here with the stones and vegetables. I did a little cemetery. This is kind of actually one of my favorite. I found this like shrine thing, and I put different memorials in there. I even had a piece of I took a half of a knight and I stuck him on a concrete pole with a little bench. Just little things that were just kind of fun, right? And I think they turned out great. I used corduroy. I used little pieces of stone, all kinds of stuff to make these little scatter terrain things. And I think they look pretty cool, if you don't ask me. I think they're nice. So here I am with the last project in this particular series. I'll go to a part 3 in a minute, but my friend Jeff Cohen out in Arizona, he used to live in Chicago. He was in charge of Little Wars, a convention there, but Jeff and I have been friends for many years, and he taught me how to make hills. So basically I just took, just foam and, various thickness. So the wallboard foam that you buy in supply houses for building insulation. I bought thin sheets and thicker sheets, and basically just took a hot knife. I never had one, so I bought one, and just cut out shapes and cut out the sides and roughed them up a bit, and then I put I painted them, so not spray paint, but just a regular latex paint on top of it, and then I was able to put texture down, so gravel and dirt. I made probably about 70 different hills, different shapes, even some that stretched the entire length of the table like ridges, and then just put grass on it and different things. I've got desert hills. I've got hills that are more for Northern Europe, that are more grassy and stuff. But what I tend to do is put them underneath my tablecloth. So I'll take this, and I'll just shove it underneath like this, as you can see. So I'll just push it underneath like that. Actually, I put the hills down and then I cover it. So basically, I know it's kind of over, because like, why did I texture that to begin with? And so, but sometimes I do put them out on the table like that. So I kind of have a little bit of flexibility. I know it's a little bit weird, but I can double them up underneath. And I think a lot of guys or gamers do that. They put it like that. But sometimes I like to put it out on the table that you can actually see it. And well, anyway, I just made a lot of hills. So you can see, forest, hills, roads. These river segments, I'll get to that kind of next, but these are made out of a latex, and then I spray painted the back so they don't stick. But latex with the river, like clear lacquer, and then I just put stuff around it to kind of give it a little bit of a texture. And so I made probably about 24 feet of various types of river segments, and I did the same thing with roads. So I'll get into that next. But anyway, I think it's all starting to turn out to look pretty nice, eh? Okay, here's Kevin again. So these are some of the other things that I have that I did was take flames of plastic soldier bases and created like little gun emplacements. Very easy to do. Really enjoyed doing that. So you can see I'm just jumping around the board. I did like a little pillbox. I've got these little huts. You can see these are made out of little sticks. Glued them together and formed them around a base as well to kind of do a like a fortification pillbox. And I really think that's nice. Glued some rocks and stuff on top. I saw this that some guy did. I liked them. I built 4 of them actually. Then I had some of these I liked that I finally painted up. Just, scatter or blockades. I had about 50 of these things, and I finally kind of painted them up, and I think they turned out quite lovely actually. There's just a whole bunch of those that you can put on the table, and yeah, I think they turned out really nicely. So those are just some of the things that I've done recently, just upgrading terrain, building things, putting things together, and yeah, just organizing everything to be a little bit more pleasing. So I'm going to be working on finishing up my western town and roads and rivers and getting that stuff all together. And then I worked on a lot of hills. I'll show you that next. Hey, this is Kevin again. Just showing you some of the other projects I've done probably over the last, let's say, 3 weeks. I really worked on upgrading my forests and trees. I mean, I had some nice stuff, but they just weren't. They were falling apart, crumbling, all these pieces coming off. They weren't organized well. And I found these like packs on Amazon. They were like, I don't know, maybe $4 for like a pack of 4. So like a larger one and a smaller one, 2 large ones, 2 small ones. And they came with these little inserts, that you could sit in there like that. And I really liked that. I thought, oh, how cool. And I put them on these, felt green mats that are cut out and textured. So that's a forest region or an area, And I really like how these things sit in here. I can move them around, and when you've got, troops moving through, you can just pick up one of these and move it in, or I can switch them out to give kind of different foliage. I have some trees, that are more orchard-like, etc., etc. So, I mean, that is kind of really cool. I could do more of a forest that's deciduous, or I can do more of a pine forest. So I think I like that a lot. So I kind of painted them in a little bit of a Southern Europe type of, they could be for Italy or other areas, which I really like, maybe in the South, Spain, etc. And I did probably about 100 of them. I know, I always go overboard. But then I also did these. These I cut out of pieces of wood, did the same concept. These are circles that are put inside the wood, as you can see, and they can be removed, and it's more of a dark northern European forest. And I did about 100 of those. So I've got 2 different kinds of forests. I really like that. And then I did a lot of low shrub bushes and things like that. But I kind of upgraded everything. I I glued down this kind of a forest mat type of stuff, and I just really like how it turned out. So I can interchange these things as I want, as I'm moving things in and out. So that's kind of what I did with my trees, and yeah, I think it turned out pretty nice. I like it. So here's Kevin again. So everybody knows how to do that. This is these carpet mats that you buy and cut in pieces. They look like wheat fields. So I did a whole bunch of those, probably about 10. So those are done. Those are nice. You just buy the mat and cut it. I mean, that's not that hard, but it looks good, I think, mixed with everything else. Then I took cardboard mats. I had these like swampy looking green things. I don't even know where they came from, but I tried to make some muddy, pondy looking things. Okay, these are not the best that you could make, but I just stuck some twigs on there and painted it, and I still have to work on it a little bit, maybe the edges and things like that. And you know, I tried to make it look like it's a place that you don't want to actually go into. I don't like it as much as I did some of the other things I did, but if anybody has any ideas what makes a pond look good, that would be great. But anyway, I'm trying. And I didn't want to throw these things away, but I didn't know what they were for. But you know, in the northern parts of Germany where I travel, there's a lot of bogs and wet areas, and it actually looks like that. We've got these patches of grass that you think are grass, but when you step in them, you just sink. And there's like black, almost black water all the way around it with old trees sticking in it and branches. And so that's kind of what I was trying to create. I don't know if I'm 100% sold, but anyway, it is what it is. Well, here's another part of a project. I had some of this stuff laying around. I don't even know what it is, but I never got rid of it. I liked it. So I decided, well, instead of it just laying in a box the rest of my life, and moving over to my descendants, I decided to mount it on cardboard. And so now I have these kind of interesting looking prairie fields of some kind. So those were nice. I had a lot of these little tiles laying around that were picked up at the I guess the home improvement store. They had these as samples, but I thought they're great as little fields. They came like that in the store, and I just cut them to size, and even grass, tough things. I thought those make great little fields, and I thought, why not, right? So I mean, I'm just kind of upgrading stuff. This is just scatter terrain that's put out there, and yeah. Anyway, just part of the project. Okay, here's another little project. I mean, this is a little bit of a smaller one, but I bought these trees on Amazon. They're a little bit like orchards, and that's what I wanted, was just a few little sets that I could put next to farms and things to kind of give it an idea of you know, a little bit of an orchard. And I think they look nice. This cost me $1 for these trees. And I had some extra, you know, balsa wood laying around, and I just put them on there. They're small trees and big ones. And anyway, I just wanted like a little low, not anything more than just what I thought was just kind of maybe like fruit trees or orchards or nuts or whatever. Anyway, I think that looks pretty nice. Well, here's Kevin again. So here was another small little project that I had. From my friend Jeff, he gave me these buildings from the Southwest. And I wanted to use these for my Wild West game. And I'm building a Western town right now as we speak. But I thought this was really great. So I just kind of put them into, you know, like a Southwest theme. It could be Mexico, it could be south of the border. Well, that is Mexico. It could be Arizona. It could be a lot of different, new territories. And I put them on these little blocks and created like a little town. I have some walls for it that I want to put together for it, but I think that in general it looks pretty nice. And I even have a building here that Jeff created for me called Taco Bell. Isn't that funny? Anyway, I just kind of clustered them together, and nothing that's put together as a full set, but I think it looks nice. I like the way they look, and it kind of gives this a little bit of a Southwest feel, and I might make some more changes to it, where when you put them all together it looks like a homogeneous unit. I probably could have done that, and I probably can still go back and do that. That's for certain, but I like it. Looks good. Anyway, that was another project I did.